find her work to be, this particular poem is just, if I can just read the first four lines. Who shall declare the joy of the running? Who shall tell the pleasures of flight? Springing and spurning the tufts of wild heather, sweeping wide-winged through the blue dome of light. And I feel such joy in that poem.
Absolutely.
How did you translate that into music?
Well, for me, what I was looking at when I was thinking of joy. I mean, joy is the subject of this poem. Joy in the sort of beauty of nature, and also, like for me, there's a lot of the images that this poem conjures for me is kind of like, you know, a very bright sun reflecting off snow and kind of, you know, causing the light to, you know, go into fractals of colors, and you know, it's almost like when you're looking, you know, at the sun, and it's you know, it's beautiful, it's powerful, but it's almost overwhelming. And so musically, the two, well, I would say, yeah, the two composers, I can even sort of narrow them down to pieces that kind of helped me find a sound world, are the work of Scriabin. I was thinking of very much of the Fifth Piano Sonata, also the 10th, the poem of Ecstasy, and then maybe even more so, a composer that I have always revered, which is Messiaen, his Transport de Joie, the organ work. And again, both of those composers, Scriabin and Messiaen, interesting that they were both synesthetic, I only just made that connection now, dealt with light in a kind of almost like overwhelming, like hyper loud, you know, everything, brightness turned up on the TV screen to the point where it's like you can't quite bear it. And so I'll finish this point, I swear. What that translated in for me, which is interesting, I feel like a lot of times the like super bright key by these composers ends up being F sharp major, both in the Messiaen organ piece and Scriabin works. But for me, the two really bright keys, and in very different ways, are E major and C major. Now, C major is not that bright of a color, but for me, the sort of emotion of C major, its purity and its sort of cleanliness is the sort of bright. And so in this piece, we hop back and forth between those two.
Thank you. I think we're having a little lighting issue. But while we're having a lighting issue, I will define what synesthesia is. So these are composers that see color when they hear sound. So if they see red, they hear a very particular chord to match that color. And we have a little bit more. And there's actually several that are living right now. Aaron Kernis is one of them who sees color when he hears music. So that's when you're talking about these people that influenced you.
Yeah, and influenced the sort of sound world that I was trying to create.
All right. Well, I think we are ready to hear your performance. Now, you are the pianist yourself.
Correct.
Can you please introduce your singer?
Yes, it is with great honor and appreciation that I invite my wife to the stage, Angela Devenuto, to perform the soprano part.
Wonderful. Thank you.
It's too bright.
Who shall declare gifted, immeasurably bright. So with the stretch of the white road before me, shining snow crystals rainbowed by the sun, fields that are white stained with long cool shadows, blue shadows. Strong with the strength of my horse as we run, joy in the touch of the wind and the sunlight, joy, joy with the vigorous earth. I am with the vigorous earth.
Great, we are underway. So that was our first team. If that is the team